Running third, fourth, and fifth right now, Ray, are the 30 of Todd Bodine, the 6 of Colin Braun, and also the 5 of Mike Skinner. Tracy Shawyer is one of the crew members for Colin Braun. He's been running up and down the pit lane, going to both the 30 pit of Todd Bodine and the 5 of Mike Skinner. They are pleading for drafting help. Mike Beam, the crew chief for young Colin Braun, said you aren't going to get to the front unless you've got a friend. We don't know how those conversations went, but I think the story's going to be told on track here in just a couple of minutes.
Out next to
Brian Scott,
and gaining on Terry Cook. But they again, they'll make some ground here, and in a minute, Skinner will decide, man, I can't win from fifth. I got to get up.
Brian Scott, look at the run Brian Scott has.
A huge run Brian Scott had there, and he makes the move on the outside. Let's see if Hornaday is able to stay with him and work with him. Todd Bodine creeps up the racetrack to get in front of Brian Scott. Could this be the good luck that Brian Scott has been waiting for all weekend?
And that's why these trucks are so fun to watch here at Daytona.
Todd Bodine was just waiting for that to happen.
We're still coming with you.
That inside line moving a bit now, but now you've got more trucks out there on the outside. Here comes J.R. Fitzpatrick. He stays on the outside, and inside it's Colin Braun making the move. He takes over the point.
He's got Mike Skinner with him. Look at all the damage to Skinner's truck from that earlier incident.
Fitzpatrick has got to hang on because he is losing the back end of that truck.
I mentioned he has a little bit older tires, and when you have a little bit older tires, it's not going to handle as good on top.
There goes Todd.
You can get around the bottom with it, but when you get up in the middle of the track, other trucks around you, it's a handful, and we saw that off turn two.
Comes Todd and Hornaday on the outside. Skinner's going to pull up to try to cut them off a little bit. Terry Cook now battling for third with Todd Bodine.
See, Kyle Busch had a plan. He was going to ride right behind J.R. Fitzpatrick. But Todd Bodine and those guys didn't care about that.
Well, Colin Braun stayed on the bottom of the racetrack, and now he's out in front of this field. Ray Dunlap.
And guys, Hornaday had a plan too. He was going to duck in behind Terry Cook. He knows how good that 25 is, but when Todd went to the high side, Hornaday sucked out there with him. It's amazing. These guys talking on the radio with their spotters, they have a plan, but a half a lap later, it doesn't matter.
Boy, action is picking up now.
It is heating up as we're closing in on the final 10 laps of this race. There's Brian Scott moving up again in that 16. Right on the back bumper, the 5 of Mike Skinner.
Skinner saying, somebody pull out, and Matt Crafton does. You can see Brian Scott, he's up on the high side too. It gives Skinner something to draft up on. He's pulling up toward Crafton.
How about Terry Cook right now running second, side by side with Todd Bodine.
Todd Bodine coming up on the outside. Does he have the momentum? It doesn't look as though he's going to be able to catch that 6.
Boy, Kyle Busch is just thinking about making it 3 wide on the inside.
Kyle Busch all over the back bumper, that 25 of Terry Cook. Terry Cook trying to hold on to that position.
What a great battle right here. Side by side for the lead. Colin Braun the 6, Todd Bodine in the 30.
Todd Bodine looks like he had a run, but he doesn't have any help behind him to keep that momentum up. Now, moving out there, it looked as though Terry Cook was going to take a look, and as soon as he did it, Kyle Busch takes advantage and takes the spot away.
That truck of Terry Cook's got loose coming off the 4th turn. He lost his grip on the bottom of the racetrack, and look what it cost him, Phil. Yeah, sitting there riding in the 2nd or 3rd spot. He's going to go all the way to the back of this pack.
Colin Braun gave Kyle Busch an opening, and Kyle Busch took it and moved up into 3rd.
Terry Cook now is lined up behind Kyle Busch. They're going to try to drive by Colin Braun. Look to the took a peek to the outside of Matt Crafton.
Those guys are already dicing it up, trying to figure out how they got to get up from 4th and 5th if they want to win this race, and that's what they're going to battle and try to do.
All over the back bumper of that 30.
Obviously, Kyle Busch content right now to run second.
We found out in the Truck Series, it really doesn't matter where you're running until you come off of turn 4. And then you've got a chance at winning this race.
You can be 100 feet from the start-finish line and have a chance running 3rd to win this race.
Colin Braun's had a very strong truck all night. He's in that number 6, moving on the outside.
He's got Skinner and TJ Bell with him. The outside line will make a move here.
Our last Speedway race, Ray, was in October at Talladega Super Speedway. On that Saturday afternoon, Colin Braun finished 4th. He gained a great deal of experience, and he's running good tonight. But you can never get enough help. Carl Edwards, under that last caution, was on the radio trying to help Colin Braun. And right now, Braun right in the middle, the meat of the sandwich. A tough situation for any driver at Daytona.
Boy, keep your eyeball on the 7 truck. J.R. Fitzpatrick with those new tires. I know he's deep in the field, but that's an advantage. And he get in the right situation. There he is, right behind Brian Scott. He's already driven up beside the 6 of Colin Braun.
Here comes Skinner on the outside with the 6 of Colin Braun pushing him.
Hornaday running fourth right now. He's got Terry Cook in front of him. Again, Terry Cook's truck has been to victory lane 3 times with 3 different drivers.
If that 7 truck could ever bust free and get to the outside with those new tires, I believe he could make some ground up there. Right now, he's trapped on the bottom, though.
See, Matt Crafton's going to make it 3 wide, going to put J.R. Fitzpatrick in the middle.
Colin Braun sees the momentum that Crafton had, tried to get up in front and work with him.
You can see the 7. He gets around the 17 with Timothy Peters. He's right on the back of Taylor Mossam. Can he push him to the top 5? Watch this 7 truck.
Going to try to push him by the 5 of Mike Skinner. He's got him cleared.
Be smart here. Be smart. A lot of stuff's going to go on this last lap and a half.
Sounds like Butch Hilton giving him a little bit of advice.
Under 5 miles of racing to go from Daytona.
The 7 needs to pop to that outside and try to use his new tires.
He's on the inside. You see the left side's below the yellow line again. Who's that jumping in the outside?
Mike Skinner took to the outside. Mike Skinner's looking for help. Doesn't look like he's going to get any from that 17 of Timothy Peters. And now Colin Braun's going to make a 3 wide going to the outside. Side by side here, Skinner and the 7 of J.R. Fitzpatrick just in front of him. 3-time series champion, the 33 of Ron Hornaday. But Todd Bodine with just a lap to go, looking to make it 4 straight wins at the super speedways.
And
where's Kyle going to try to make his move, Michael?
He'll probably do it down in turn 3. He's got just what he wanted. He wanted to be running second when he took the white, and he's positioned right on Todd Bodine's bumper. He's going to count on Terry Cook to go with him when he makes the move to the outside of Todd Bodine on the back straightaway.
Will Terry make it 3 wide, though, and go for the win himself? Here comes somebody on the outside again.
J.R. Fitzpatrick out there in the 7. Looks like he's going to try to fall back in line, though, just in front of Taylor Mossam.
Hornaday's peeking to the outside. He tucks back in.
Who's going to make the move? Right now, the 51 of Kyle Busch all over the back bumper. He moves to the outside. Looks like he gets loose. Drops back just a bit. Now as they work their way coming out of turn number 4. A huge lead for Todd Bodine.
It isn't enough.
Catch him.
It isn't enough, is it?
Todd Bodine is going to be able to hold up the pack. He'll win again at Daytona. We take a look at our unofficial results. Todd Bodine, another win for Todd Bodine, and especially here at the super speedways. That makes 4 in a row for him at either Daytona or Talladega.
Remember when Timothy Peters said when we interviewed him before qualifying he might get a top 10 or maybe even a win, and he said it sheepishly, but he about did get it. He definitely got a top 10, and he had a chance to win this thing.
Yeah, how about Taylor Mossam? A top 10 finish there in that 81 Randy Moss Motorsports Toyota.
Randy Moss's birthday, by the way, today.
That's right. Happy birthday, Randy Moss.
I saw Randy Moss earlier.
TJ Bell gets an 11th place finish. Brian Scott overcame a lot of adversity to finish 12th.
My man Brian Silas got a solid top 20 finish. Avoided a couple crashes. Now these guys weren't so fortunate to avoid the crashes. Rick Crawford, Jason White, Brett Raymer, all the way down. Many chances to get torn up tonight, and those guys couldn't avoid it.